Good morning. Welcome to Asher and Torah Anytime. We're beginning now Melachim Beis, Perek Aleph. We said many times that really in Chazal there is no two kings. There's only one Melachim. But just for practical purposes, we call it Melachim Aleph, Melachim Beis. So we just finished the Melachim Aleph, how Achav dies. The prophecy of Michio gets fulfilled. And now the pasuk continues, Vayifsha Moav b'Yisrael achrei mois Achav. So as long as Achav was alive, Achav, from the Malchi Yisrael, there's about 19 or 20 Malchi Yehuda and Malchi Yisrael. Each one has like 20. The Malchi Yisrael never have any good kings. Everybody's messed up over there. Malchi Yehuda Malchi Yisrael don't have any good kings. Malchi Yehuda have like 6 or 7 that are righteous kings out of their 20. So Achav, as problematic as he was, he still had a few good moments. He had, he, like we spoke about, he wouldn't give up the Sefer Torah. He did tshuva at least for a few years on his killing the voice. But as long as he was alive, Moav didn't have any power. But after Achav died, after Achav dies, Moav gets back into control. And Moav begins to rebel. Now Achazio is the son of Achav and Izevel, and Achazio is walking on his roof, and there's these lattices on top of his roof, which was presumably for sunlight, and either by mistake he stepped on it, or however it happened that he fell through his lattice on his roof and he fell down, and he falls down from this lattice onto he falls down a floor, or he falls down onto a spiral staircase. Chlok is what it means. But whatever it is, he gets injured. Vayochal, and he gets sick. Now, if he would be at least a semi-righteous king, then he would say, Hashem, why did this happen to me? That's always the question that a person has to ask whenever a person gets injured, or somebody Chaz v'Shalom gets sick. You ask Hashem, Alma also Hashem kocho. Whenever you see tragedy or something happens, you ask yourself, Hashem, what's the message you're trying to give me? But instead, Vayishlach Malachim Vayomer Aleim L'chu Dirshu Ebal Zevuv Elohei Ekron. He sends a message to the Baal Zevuv. Now, the Baal Zevuv is the name of an Avodah Zarah. It seems like to be called the master of the flies, Baal Zevuv. I was trying to figure out what's Baal Zvuv, like why would they call Avodah Zarah the master of the flies? I found one shot that when a person died, he used to have fleas around him. That's one of the signs of death. So this Baal Zvuv, from the god of Ekron, which is a place, that was the god that you went to ask, like, what's up with my death? Am I going to die, not die? It was the god of, at least, who would foretell you if you're slated to die or not. Am I going to survive from this sickness? Suddenly Eliyahu Tishbi comes out, he emerges from the backstory again. Go towards the emissaries of Achazio. So Shliach, angel tells Eliyahu Hanavi, go meet this entourage who's on the way to this Baal Zvuv, this master of the fleas, and tell them, is there no God in Israel? You're going to ask this Baal Zvuv, this master of the fleas, God of Ekron, seriously? And therefore, which means not because of your injury are you going to die. The injury was just here to send you a message. But because you didn't get the hint and you didn't go say, hello Hashem, what's up? The bed that you went to it because of your sickness, you're not going to come out of it. You shall die. And Eliyahu goes to meet these emissaries. So now the shluchim, these messengers, come back to Achaziyahu. And the king told them, Maza Shaftam, how'd you get back so early? What's going on? Why'd you come back? I thought I sent you somewhere. They told him, this man came up towards us. And he told us, return to the king that sent you. And this is what you should tell him. Is there no God in Israel? That you're going to seek the Baal Zvuv, God of Ekron? This line is a very powerful line. This person always has to ask himself whenever we look for alternative ways out. The Navi continuously asks us, is there no God by the Chazia told them, Ma mishpat tell me about this guy who you met. What does he look like? Who is he? He wanted to figure out who is this mysterious prophet who came and told them. They told them, this is where we have all the zmiris from. Ish bal seyar ve'ezer oir azur b'mosnov. Sing it by Motzei Shabbos. Ish bal seyar, a person with a lot of hair. Some say that he was a Nazir, that Eliyahu Navi was a Nazir, and that's how he had a lot of hair. Regardless, Ish bal seyar ve'ezer oir azur b'mosnov, and he's wearing this large leather belt.
But a lot of hair means on his head, right?
Yeah. He had this leather belt. Chazal say, or the Medrash says, that this leather belt was just like it was made ben Hashmoshes. There was the donkey, the Bilam's donkey. His belt was also from from those mysterious, wondrous objects. Vayomer, Zachazia said, Eliyahu Atishbihu. That's Eliyahu Atishbi. If you meet somebody who's Baal Seyar, Ve'ezer Oir B'Masnov, that's what all the legends, whenever you hear stories of Eliyahu Navi, a lot of the stories is that it's like, a shepherd or something, somebody with a large leather belt, and all the children's stories, they put him on this large leather belt. Vayishlach Elav. So now he still doesn't get the message. Even though he chaps that it's Eliyahu Atishbi, this is Eliyahu Navi who was already Bahar Carmel, and Eliyahu Navi is the one who told his father, and everything that he said came true, and his father died now, and he got to watch his own blood dripping down on his chariot, and the fulfillment of Michiyahu's prophecy came true, and Eliyahu's. Yishlach Elav. So he sends to Eliyahu, Sar Chamishim, V'chamishav, he sends him like a general with 50 people, with 50 soldiers, and the Sar tells him, Ishur, man of God, Hamelech Diber, the king has spoken, Reido, come down right now. Come down immediately. So Eliyahu is on top of the mountain, he responds to him and he says, if I'm a man of God, let a fire come down from heaven and devour you and your 50. And so again, you had this. It's very interesting when you see the pattern that in Har HaKarmel, he also brought down a fire from heaven that consumed his carbon. And here a fire comes down and it kills these 50 people who are challenging him. So he sends a second entourage. He still doesn't get the message. I think one of the recurring themes in Navi is that if you don't want to get the message, you won't. Everyone has, it's because we send you a message from heaven doesn't mean that you're actually going to get it. You have to want to get it to get it. And he tells him, man of God, come down quickly. That means we're not afraid that 50 people died and a fire came down from heaven. If I'm a man of God, then why are you being such a mechitzev? If you're telling me that I'm a man of God, then why are you being so brazen? And what happens? So now we have already 100 guys dead, 102 actually. Still doesn't get the message. When you read it, you wonder to yourself that, if I would see a fire come down from heaven, 50 people, then I'd probably freak out and I'd get the message. So everything is relative. We spoke about this many times, that even in today's world, there's so many miracles that happen to us, and so many amazing things that happen, that being that it's like systematic already, and it's already in the program, we don't, I'm going to give you one tiny example. If you would have told somebody 100 years ago, 150 years ago, that people are going to live until an average life expectancy of 89, or 80, 90, I don't even know, let's say 80. They would have told you that you're Moshe Mashiach Mamish. In the times of the Baal Shem Tov, if you lived till you were 60, you were an old man. You were already, wow. And Shifcha Baal Shem Tov, he writes a story that Baal Shem Tov was B'chai Mesim, a child. B'chai Shishim Shonim Shleimim. He lived 60 complete years. Like, wow, 60. Because the average life expectancy then was 26, because of the the child mortality rate was so high that it knocked the stats down. Now, anybody walking around today over the age of 60 is basically living in Tchias HaMesim, at least in a level of Tchias HaMesim. Anybody who all of his children are alive, the statistics that all of your children were going to live was almost a mathematical impossibility. The fact that a person can have a family and their whole lives, like, wow. The fact that Jews have freedom today, that you could do business wherever you want, and the fact that you have freedom of religion, that you could have moistus and you could learn Torah and you could have a shul over here with parking, and there's no pogrom that you went all the way around. But you could still come in and you can still complain. And somebody says, hey, are you living an open miracle? It's true, living an open miracle, but it still doesn't register. Relative in those times, I guess fires coming down from heaven and consuming people, it didn't bend anybody out of shape. But this third guy did get the message, because he sends the third general or a third officer. So the third officer in charge of 50 soldiers comes. He bows down on his knees. He begs him and he says, he says, man of God, tikar no nafshi, please value my soul. And the souls of these 50 people, we're just doing what we were sent to do. We're totally in. We do get it. We get the message. A fire has come down from heaven. And the two groups of 50 are gone. The ones who spoke to you with disrespect, now, let my soul be precious in your eyes, please don't kill us. And I'm coming to you with total bittul. And the angel tells Eliyahu, go down with him. Don't be afraid that he goes down to the king. which is also very fascinating. I found it very interesting. The Yohan Novi, on the one hand, is like this open miracle man, right? He brings down fires from heaven, Carmel. I mean, he tells this woman to bake, to pour setitzach, there's like limitless miracles. But he still runs away from danger, and he's still afraid to go meet Achov. And over here he doesn't want to go down, and the Malach has to tell him, don't be afraid. Which means that even the most exalted neshamas amongst us, they also are part of the Bria, and they also play in the rules of the Bria, that if you're in a dangerous situation, you don't go, and you can get killed. The fact that you have miracles happening to you doesn't mean that you're Ein Sof, that you're Bli Gvul. You've been given a certain power, and you've been given a certain gift, and you've been given a certain energy to serve Hashem with that, but there's still rules and a structure to the Bria that we have to play along with. So anyway, the Malach tells him, don't be afraid, and he goes around. So the Yoh comes to Chazio, and he says, Koyomer Hashem, being that you went to the fly master, Hamabli Ein Elikim Yisrael Lidrash B'Tvaroi Lachen Amit Asher Alisa Sham Lo Yisered Mimeno Ki Mosh Tomos, you're going to die. And Chazir still doesn't change. That's like the craziest part of the game. Eliyahu comes and he tells it to him, and he tells him. So what happens next? Vayamos Kidvar Hashem Asher Dibir Eliyahu, and he dies like Hashem said he would. Vayimloich Yehoram Tachtov. So Yehoram is not his son. Achazyahu doesn't have any sons. So Yehoram is his brother. So we have to remember that Yehoram is now a brother, is, I guess, another son of Achav. Vayimloich Yehoram Tachtov. Yehoram takes over B'Shnas Shtayim Yehoram ben Yeshafat Melech Yehuda. So there's two Yehorams now. You have Yehoram ben Yeshafat. Yeshafat also had a Yehoram. And his cousin, he was a cousin somehow. Somehow Yeshafat and Achav. No. I think Yeshafat and Achav were like brother-in-laws or something, according to the Medrash. But upon him, there's two Yehorams now. One is Yehoram from Malchi Yehuda, and one is Yehoram from Malchi Yisrael. Yehoram Yeshafat Malchi Yehuda, ki lahoya loy bein. Chazyahu didn't have any son. V'yaseh divrei Chazyahu asher also, and the rest of the stories of Chazyahu asher also lehem ksuv al sefer divrei Hayomim Malchi Yisrael. We really have to learn divrei Hayomim to be able to fill in the rest of the stories that are missing out.